Hello everyone, this is Hitesh Mhatre, HOD, Computer Engineering Department of Praveen Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology. Today we are going to learn about integrity constraints. In this we will learn about unique and not null. So the learning objectives: unique constraints and not null constraints. Unique constraint. The unique constraint ensures that all the values in a column are different. Now this is the same thing what the primary key constraint states that. Now what makes the both thing different? Both unique and primary key constraint provide a guarantee for the uniqueness for a column or a set of columns. So as said earlier, both will do the same work, that they will allow the unique values in a column or a set of columns that are defined as either unique or as a primary key. A primary key constraint automatically has a unique constraint. However, you can have many unique constraints per table, but only one primary key constraint per table. As we have seen earlier, the primary key constraint, we can have only one primary key constraint in a table. So each table will have only one primary key, but there may be chances that there are certain columns that requires unique values. So you can assign those columns using a unique constraints. So this is the main difference between the unique and the primary key. And again, you can have more than one unique constraint in a table, unlike primary key where you have only the option of having one primary key constraint. So if you are using SQL, Oracle or MS Access, so this is the statement: create table person, ID integer, not null, unique. So instead of primary key, we are specifying here as a unique. So this will also give the same result. Last name varchar 225, not null. First name varchar 225, age integer. So this will create a table. This will create a table person with 4 columns, out of which ID and last name are not null and the ID is unique. But remember, we have not mentioned here that the unique ID is a primary key. It will have unique values, but it is not a primary key. When you are using MySQL, the only difference is that you can see here: create table person, ID integer not null, last name varchar 225 not null, first name varchar 225, age integer, and the unique keyword, and in the parenthesis I will write the column name, that is the ID. So this indicates that this ID column will be the unique. Now using a constraint. So how can I use a constraint? Now similar to the primary key, you can apply unique for multiple columns. It is not necessary that it should be applied for only a single column. You can have for the multiple column. So the best way to use is, which is supported by all the applications, that is MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle and MS Access. Create table person, ID integer not null, last name varchar 225 not null, first name varchar 225, age integer. Then I will add the constraint, then say UC person, that is unique constraint for a person, then the name unique and the column name, that is ID and the last name. So here ID and the last name will form a unique. So combination of these two will be a unique entry. If I want only ID, I will specify only ID here. So this is how you can use a constraint. So this is the best way when you want to add a constraint, because it is supported by all the types of database softwares. Now you have already created a table Now you want to add a constraint later on. So the option is using alter table. So already created a table and I want the column ID to assign a unique constraint. So if I'm using this like MySQL Server, Oracle, MS Access, alter table persons, add unique and the column name. So this is how I will be adding a constraint to this ID column. Now on the multiple column, if I want to add, same thing, alter table person, add constraint, the constraint name, that is UC person, that is unique constraint person, then the unique and the names of the column, that is ID and the last name. So here using this I can assign to the multiple columns as well. So this is how you can add the constraint after creation of your table using a alter table statement. Now dropping a unique constraint. When you're using MySQL, alter table person drop index UC person. So this is the way when you're using a MySQL. So alter table, your table name, drop index and the constraint name. And if you're using SQL Server, Oracle or MS Access, alter table person, drop constraint and the constraint name, that is UC person. So there is just a slight difference between this. In MySQL you have index, in rest of the others you have constraint. So alter table, table name, drop constraint and the constraint name. So this is, in this way you can drop the constraint. Next is the not null constraint. We have seen in the previous examples the not null. By default, a column can hold a null values. When we started this SQL, in the starting only I have mentioned that whenever you create a table and if you do not specify anything, any constraints or any condition on that, by default it will hold a null values. So it will be empty. The not null constraint enforces a column to not accept null values. Now what it states that whenever you are accepting some values, when you are inserting or when you are updating a record, and if you do not add values to the column which are specified by the not null, then it will not allow you to insert or update that. Again, most important point to note that 0 is not a null value. 0 is not a null value. There is a difference between a 0 and null value. 0 is nothing but it has some weightage. Because it is a value. It becomes 0 means there is a value in a column, but null means empty. Now adding a not null constraint. So create table persons ID integer not null. See, we have specified here not null. So whenever I am inserting the values, this ID value cannot be blank or cannot be empty. I have to enter some value of type integer. Similarly, last name varchar 225 not null. So whenever I am accepting the value for the last name, it should not be empty. It should accept at some characters. Similarly, first name varchar 225 not null. So in this case, again first name should not be empty. Age integer. Now we have not specified anything here. So whenever I want to insert some values into the persons table, I have to insert at least ID, last name and first name. Age can be blank. the row will be inserted or updated. But if you are not specifying any values in ID, last name and first name, at least any one of this is blank, then you will not be able to insert the values or update the values. So the columns that are specified by the not null should have at least some value. Now once you have created and then you have to add anything, so you will be using alter table. So to create a not null constraint on a age column, we have seen already we have assigned for all the three columns. There was one column which was not assigned a not null constraint. So alter table person modify age. This is the column name, this is the type integer, and this is the constraint that I've given not null. So now age is also assigned a constraint not null. So after assigning this constraint, there should be a value in a age column whenever there is an insert or update. I hope the concept of your unique and not null are clear. If you have doubt, you can reach me on the following details. Thank you.